Guy, we've been talking about this inherent division that we've created. We're talking about psychological pain. You know, we're calling today's talk "Jump Off the Pain Train."
Right.
But it's the one thing no one ever told you about your pain that changes everything. So I imagine we're working toward that.
Very much so, because you had asked me just before the break whether we cause our own pain.
Right.
I mean, look, you know, I don't want to alienate people. I want to talk to people. I want to help people understand where it is that we have been rounded up, literally as individuals, collectively as well, by this, first by misunderstanding the nature of our pain, and in that misunderstanding, embracing all kinds of philosophical and pseudo-spiritual ideas to console ourselves about it, such as admitting to ourselves that we're in pain, but never being willing to see that when the moment of truth comes where we could learn something about it and change our improper relationship to its presence in us, we always run the other way. We do not cause our own pain at first. Eventually, it becomes a pattern, and we all know it. But the fact is that events come that we can't expect. Someone says something, we get news about our health. Someone shows up at the door, again, asking to do something or borrow something, and we know it's not proper. In those moments, we are brought into a situation where something inside of us, a character that we're not aware of prior to the event, some part of our nature, long ago conditioned, maybe because mom or dad were cruel to us. It doesn't matter the past. What matters is that in the present moment, we're confronted with a condition that stirs that part of our consciousness awake. And when it comes awake, it is what meets the moment of challenge. But it is dead. The thought about what happened to me, even the memory, the knowledge of past problems and failures, all of those things are dead. But they are brought back to life. That part of us, that body of thought, that energetic pattern, immediately resurrected, as it were, by the condition that restimulates its appearance. And when it appears, Rob, it appears full-blown with the physical, mental, and emotional energy, the memory of pain.
Mm. So even if we don't realize we're holistic, it is.
It comes with its own staff, with its own cast and characters. Right. And when it appears, Rob, we feel that pain. Mm. But the pain belongs to something that has no authority over us. None. But we are so used to caving in. You know, what a contradiction it is in these days when the country's so divided because the fear of oppression. Physician, heal thyself. The first state of oppression, the initial appearance of oppression that's eventually manifested exteriorly, is because we won't deal with it interiorly. And that's why we have authorities, to try and make the exterior world into something that'll be pain-free according to our belief of whatever political, whatever condition is imagined as being the source of our pain. The real source of our pain is a misunderstanding of, the initial onset of that fear, that worry, that doubt, that sense of inadequacy. But then it becomes ingrained in a pattern that repeats itself so thoroughly that the smallest appearance of anything even representing that past condition where that conflict was, boom, up comes the pain, up comes the mechanical response to it, and we're reseeding that part of ourselves that will grow stronger and stronger and stronger until we are so weak as a spiritual being, we can't even remember when it was our right to use those moments that awakened that pain to free ourselves, to let go of that part of our nature that clings so tenaciously to it, because without that pain, that part of us can't exist anymore.
So, Guy, are we talking perhaps about looking, I mean, I know you've just explained the structure of this and how that works, but what about if we reframe this whole idea and start looking at pain? We don't necessarily have to say it's our friend, but it's a messenger. What about if we thought at the initial onset of this is telling me something about myself?
Well, that's a fact.
Yeah.
One of the things that I teach is when an unwanted moment appears, whatever its nature, to be able to say to that person, to that situation, to that fear of loss, thank you, I didn't know that about myself. Because if we can understand, by the way, this is why Christ said, love thine enemies, resist not evil. The original Aramaic of that statement is, do not oppose what opposes you. Our pain isn't in the appearance of the condition. Our pain is in resistance to what the condition awakens in us. If we understood that, we would know where our work is, and we would see the futility of trying to get life to change and to fit what we believe it's meant to be like so that we can be pain-free. No such life exists. On the other hand, there is a kind of life where when the pain appears as the result of that unconscious nature being prompted by an event, we can integrate that part of ourselves by waking up to it and realizing, all right, I sure feel this fear, I sure feel this anger, I sure feel this doubt, this worry, but instead of letting the negative state tell me who I am going to agree to meet this condition, stand there as long as I can, learn what I can, and walk away from it less interested in the part of me that's so interested in being in pain.